Hey, it's Brian Dixon. I just wrapped up a live training where I show you how to write with vulnerability, and you'll see that recording of that training in just a minute. But I also wanted to personally invite you to apply to write your story of kindness. We have a brand new collaboration book that just opened up called Kindness, and there's only 7 spots left. There's probably less by the time that you watch this video. But what I'll do in this live training that you're about to watch is I walk you through the 4-step process of how to write your story, specifically your story of kindness. And this is for you if you've always wanted to become a published author, but maybe that feels a little overwhelming. Like, what do I write about? Well, in this training, I walk you through a process of telling one story, one kindness story. And that's how we share from vulnerability. How we lead with vulnerability is we talk about what we've been through, because what you've been through isn't wasted when you share it with somebody else. So I hope you enjoy this training. Your next step is to apply to work with us. Hopebooks.com/collab. I've got the link below this video as well. There's a few spots left in the kindness book, and I'd love you to consider it. So without further ado, here is the recording of the training to help you write with vulnerability. It might be time to level up. It might be time to take your writing from an idea, from a hobby, to something that you feel called to do. In fact, if you feel called to be a writer, to share your message of hope, type called in the chat. I feel called to do this. This is more than scrapbooking. It's more than collecting, old stamps. This is a calling on my life. And I know that my story and writing words is more than just for fun. This is a mission. If that's you, type called in the chat. Yeah, I feel called to do this. Amazing. 47 of you are with me right now. This is incredible. I'm so glad that you're here. So you feel called to write, but here's the thing, like, how do you write with vulnerability? How do you lead with clarity? How do you encourage other people to move forward? That's what we're going to be diving into today. I have a framework to share with you because I'm a big framework person. I believe if you have a clear framework, then you can go back to the framework over and over and over again, and it can help you for a long time. Oh my goodness, I'm so grateful that you're here. This is absolutely incredible. Y'all, I'm operating at about 30% right now. So y'all can pray for me. We had our amazing, fantastic, incredible conference about 10 days ago. And it finally all hit me, so I'm just a little under the weather today. But I'm so, thank you, Rachel. I'm so grateful to be with you. I do not like canceling appointments. Unfortunately, we're online, so I can't get you sick. But I might be a little loopy today. So no ice anymore. Yeah, this is great. Okay, I'm gonna stay focused. So number 1, introduce yourself. I want to hear where you're calling in from. Type in the chat your name and where you're calling in from. And I would love to say hello to you. So if you've done it already, do it again. My name is Brian Dixon. I'm coming at you live from Matthews, North Carolina, which is just outside of Charlotte. And I'm so glad to be with you. So grateful to be with you today. The fact that you showed up, you didn't just sign up, but you showed up, means a lot to me, because it means that you're serious about your writing. And I love talking to people that are serious about their writing. No more dabbling. 2026, no more dabbling. We're going to take this thing seriously, right? Yeah. Amazing. Awesome. So good. Kathleen is here from North Phoenix, Arizona. Angela, hey, Angela, from Lakeland, Florida today. Oh, that's fun. No more dabbling, Terry. Jacqueline from Pennsylvania. Kareen from Georgia. Zippy from Flushing. That's so fun. Zippy from Flushing, Michigan. Rachel from Wisconsin. Melinda from Utah. Who did I miss? Shauna from Utah. Savannah from San Jose. Amazing. Irene from Silver Spring, which is one of my favorite Fleetwood Mac songs. Maryland. Sterling is here. Hey, Sterling, good to see you. I got to hang out with you and your husband, Jim, at the conference, which was fantastic. Courtney is here from Maryland. Michelle from just outside of Charlotte. Hey, I know Michelle. Hey, Michelle. Anita, welcome from Wyoming. Coralie from Pittsburgh. Terry from Florida. Lee from Oklahoma. Susan from Indiana. Pat is here. The wonderful Pat Pate from Memphis. Stephanie from Indianapolis. Ella from Atlanta. Linda from Warren, Pennsylvania. If you haven't introduced yourself, introduce yourself in the chat. I think I got everybody. Nikki from North Carolina. Patty from Pittsburgh. This is so fun. Donna, Pennsylvania. Cherish from Montana, Diane from Kentucky, Melissa from New Mexico. Does anybody remember? I might really be dating myself, but there was a TV show called Romper Room. Does anybody remember that? Just type yes in the chat. And she would like have this like magic mirror, and at the end of the episode, she would like say people's names, and you always wanted her to say your name. Is that real, or did I just dream that? Margaret, hey, Margaret's here from Dallas. Melissa from Albuquerque. Amazing. Yeah, that's real. Okay, Susan, thank you. Antoinette from California. And yeah, Magic Mirror. That's so fun. Okay. Okay. Courtney, stay focused with me. Okay. We've got one topic to talk about. We're not going to take the chat and make it other things. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. So today we're going to talk about how to write with vulnerability. How to write with vulnerability, because I believe that when people can see into your life, they believe your way. When people can see into your life, they believe that what worked for you might work for them. Vulnerability equals belief. Type that in the chat. Vulnerability equals belief. The more somebody knows you, likes you, and trusts you, the more they'll take action, the more free they'll get. And so the question of how to write with vulnerability, yeah, vulnerability equals belief. I know that word's a little hard to spell, right? Vulnerability. Yeah, vulnerability equals belief. What do we want our reader to do? We want our reader to believe us. We want our reader to believe us. We want our reader to experience freedom, because right now your reader is stuck. Your reader is stuck. I want you to type that in the chat. Okay, we're going to be using the chat. I can see the chat, so I'm just going to interact with you, just have a conversation with you today. Type in the chat, my reader is stuck. My reader is stuck. When Jesus saw the crowd, he saw them as harassed and helpless, as sheep without a shepherd. Your reader is stuck right now. She is overwhelmed. She's frustrated. She feels abandoned. She feels lost. She's lonely. And you, my friend, you can make a difference in her life. Not millions of followers on Instagram, but by you sharing your story, she doesn't feel alone anymore. Wouldn't it be worth it? Type worth it if you agree with me. Wouldn't it be worth it if you were just a little brave and you shared your story and she read your story and she was encouraged to live her story? Would that be worth it? Type worth it in the chat. If you were just a little brave, just a little braver than you are right now, just a little bit more brave, and you shared something a little bit vulnerable, and because of your vulnerability, there was more trust. And when there's trust, there's belief. And when there's belief, there's action. And she was set free. That's why we're here today. We're here to help set people free. That's why we write. That's why we write words of hope. We write words of hope to set people free. So how do we do that? How do we do that in a way that doesn't throw our family under the bus? How do we do that in a way that doesn't produce what they call a vulnerability hangover? I don't know if you've heard that before, vulnerability hangover. Like you write something pretty intimate online, vulnerable online, and the next morning you wake up and you're like, oh, what did I write? I can't believe I wrote that. And they're like, delete, delete, delete. How do we do that in a way that actually builds trust with her? That's why we're here, okay? So if you're here for that too, say, I'm here. Type I'm here in the chat. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here for that. Yes. Okay. That's right. So good. So good. I'm so glad you're here. Wow. Yeah. Okay. That's sacred. Wow. Oh my goodness. 67 of you are here. This is amazing. Okay. So housekeeping wise, it's 11:09. I have till noon. So we've got about 51 minutes together. 51 minutes together. What I want to encourage you to do today is to write a real story. Okay, type real story in the chat. We're going to write a real story together. I'm going to walk you through a storytelling framework. It took me about 11 years to figure this out. And the funny thing, it was like right in front of me. Has that ever happened to you? you're like trying. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait a second, it's right there. It's like you lost your keys, can't find them. Or for me, I don't know about y'all, but I'm at the age now where I need glasses. And so I keep my glasses on top of my head. And I'm like looking for my glasses. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, never mind. They're right here. Right? Yeah. Real story. So it took me 11 years to figure out this framework that I want to share with you today. And I really feel like this framework for you writing your story is going to help unlock so many stories that you have. If you have so thank you for praying for me. So many stories. You have so many stories. Like, you know that you want to write a bunch of books. You want to share a bunch of stories. Just type so much in the chat. So much. There's so much I want to write. Yeah, type that in the chat if that's you. I have so much I want to write. So much I want to write. And especially want to talk to you if you are feeling behind. If you are feeling like, when I go online, when I go on Instagram, when I go on Facebook, it just feels like my posts only get like 2 or 3 likes. And there's other people that are way more talented and way more famous. And for some reason, every time they post something, it works, but my stuff doesn't work. And it can just feel really discouraging. It can feel really discouraging. And maybe you're feeling like, I missed my boat. I'm now in my 50s. I'm now in my 60s. And I missed my boat. Maybe you're still in your 30s and you're like, I feel like I waited too long. It's too late. If you feel like it's a little too late for you, just type too late in the chat. I feel like it's kind of too late. I feel like the dream of writing a book, the dream of becoming an author, the dream of sharing my story and impacting a lot of people, it just feels like it's too late. Do you feel that way? Do you feel that way? I don't know about you. I felt that way. I felt that way. Yeah. Okay. I see you. I see you. I'm so grateful that you're here. I want you to know it's not too late. Come on, type that in the chat. It's not too late. It's not too late. As long as you have life and breath, God's not done your story yet. Okay. That's kind of Southern there. God's not done your story. Your story is not done. Your story is not done. Your story is not done. It's not too late. It is not too late, my friend. It's not too late, my friend. But here's the thing. I think that the reason that your words are not connecting, besides you're not writing them, right? Obviously, you need to write them and share them. So that's a whole nother training. But let's say, for example, that you were to write a story and you were to put it on Facebook. We're just going to talk about Facebook right now. I don't like Facebook either, but guess what? Everybody uses Facebook. So if you were to share your story or part of your story on Facebook and it only gets a couple likes, there's one reason that is true. One reason that is true. And I want to help cure that today. Type cure if you're with me. I want to help cure that today. I want to help get you to a point, thank you, where you're writing a story and you feel great about it and you feel proud about it and you don't have that vulnerability hangover. You don't have regrets the next day, and it connects to people. It makes a difference in their lives. And you have this feeling of satisfaction that your words matter. Wouldn't that be amazing? Type in the chat. What would it feel like for you to write a story, to share it out, and for that to encourage and inspire somebody else? What would that feel like? Oh, I'd love to hear from you. What would that feel like? Yeah. What would that feel like for you to write part of your story and to share it and then have other people read it and go, wow, that really helped me, or that really encouraged me, or I really feel seen. Amazing. Yeah. Rachel says, so satisfying. So satisfying. Am I blurry? I think I might be a little blurry here. Okay. Feeling blurry. Okay. Kimber. Hey, Kimber. 75 people are with me. This is incredible. I'm so honored to be with you today. If we haven't met, my name is Brian Dixon. I started something called Hope Writers 11 years ago with a couple of my friends, and we believe in community. No writer should write alone. And we started at a Christian writers conference, and we were all hanging out in the lobby kind of area. And I remember talking to one of my friends and going like, wouldn't this be so cool if we could do this like weekly? So we started something called Hope Writers. If you're a Hope Writer, type, I'm a Hope Writer in the chat, or I've been a Hope Writer before. And so that's how I got started 11 years ago. And over the last 11 years, I've coached thousands of writers just like you, to help you figure out your message, to figure out your audience, and to write your book. So that's what I'm all about, helping you figure out your story. When you know what your story is, it gives you so much clarity. when there's this crazy news event and you're like, should I write about that? Well, does it have anything to do with your reader? Does it have anything to do with your message? Does it have anything to do with your book? If not, leave it. It has nothing to do with you. Focus on your message. And so that's what I've been doing for about 11 years. We have now published, I got a couple of them behind me. We've now published over 100 books. Type 100 in the chat if you're with me. 100. At Hope Books, we published over 100 books. 100 books. And some of those are collection books, and some of those are collaboration books. And if you're a Hope author, type I am a Hope author in the chat. If you've written in one of our collection books, one of our collaboration books, or a full book with us, type I am a Hope author. Or you're working on one right now, type I am a Hope author. That's right. So I want you to know that you are not alone. My job is to encourage the encouragers. And I got to tell you, of all the things I'm doing this week, I'm so excited about being here with you right now, because if you can figure this out, how to write with vulnerability, it changes everything. It changes everything. And it's something I recently discovered. I would say I've had moments of knowing it, but in terms of living it, it's taken me a lot longer. Anybody else real stubborn? Type stubborn in the chat if you're stubborn. I'm kind of stubborn. Like, I want to do things my way. I want to do things my way. So I wrote a post. Man, this is like 2013. I wrote a post about how it's really hard for me to take time off. Really hard for me to take time off. And that post was vulnerable. And guess what? That post blew up. Now, what do you mean by blew up? It got a lot more readers than my other stuff. And it was the first time I kind of went, quote unquote, viral, right? And there's something so crazy about writing words like I do. I don't know about you. I write every day. Type in the chat, write every day. You got to write every day, right? Write every day. So I had this post that kind of blew up, and I got thousands and thousands. I think it was like 100,000 people saw my post. And I went, oh my goodness, what about that post worked? And then I couldn't do it again. And then a couple years later, a couple years later, there's something that happened in the news that related to my topic, and I wrote a pretty vulnerable post, and it did it again. Thousands and thousands of likes and comments and shares. I was like, what happened? And then a couple years go by, and then I wrote another post. I remember this one post I wrote. They were canceling Dr. Seuss. I don't know if you remember this, but there was like this whole thing of like, we have to cancel Dr. Seuss. I was like, as for me and my house, we're not canceling Dr. Seuss. This is what we're doing. And I talked about parenting, and I talked about standing for your values, and I talked about living out your faith. And that post went crazy. Another viral post. And by this time you would think three times, Brian, come on, Brian, type in come on, Brian in the chat. 3 times, come on, Brian. I should have figured it out at this point, but I still couldn't. Like, what makes your writing connect? What makes your writing work? And it took me a while to figure this out. And then I was reading the Bible. Are you a Bible person? If you're a Bible person, type Bible in the chat. Okay. I'm a Bible person. I will quote scripture unashamed. I'm unashamed. Yeah. Okay. So Romans 5:3-5. Okay. Romans 5:3-5. I like it. Somebody's like, Bible, cherish Bible all the way. Okay. Romans 5:3-5 talks about rejoicing in suffering. Rejoice in suffering. Type that in the chat if you're with me. Rejoice in suffering. That is actually the first step. That's the first step to a post that actually connects, to writing that connects to a reader, to a post that gets more likes than normal. Rejoice in suffering. Why do we rejoice in suffering? If you were at the conference, you've heard some of this before, but you know what? We don't need something new. We need something true, right? People need to be reminded more than they need to be taught. So today will be a little bit of a reminder, okay? Rejoice in suffering, because suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope. And if you want to share a message of hope, you share it from your character, from the character that you've grown into. And some of you have been around for 11 years and you've seen how I've grown. Like, of course I'm growing. I hope I'm growing. The character comes from endurance, and the endurance comes from the suffering. And so how do you write a post that connects? How do you write a chapter that connects? How do you write a story that connects? You know what you talk about? You talk about the suffering. Talk about the suffering. Did you get it? If you got it, type got it in the chat. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Come on. Barbie says, third day in a row, Romans 5, 1 through 5 has been right in front of me. Come on. There, God's trying to tell you something. I love that. That's for you. This whole thing's for you. All right. Amazing. Wow. Okay. So how do you do this? I'm going to be very practical. We're going to pick a topic. This is what I've discovered. If we start talking about your book, it can feel really overwhelming. But if we just talk about one story from your life, it feels a little kinder, okay? So type the words one story. We're just gonna do one story together today. We're gonna do a little bit of homework today, okay? Type one story in the chat. Okay, one story. The one story that we're gonna focus on today, and I don't know about you, but I get real in my head when I'm not feeling well. And so I need a little bit of kindness in my life. Type kindness in the chat, okay? I need a little bit of kindness. So we're gonna tell a kindness story. Okay, together. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Okay. I think about the Apostle Paul. He would write these letters that are in the Bible. And he'd say, when I think about you, right? Anytime I think about you, and he talks about the kindness of how people blessed him and encouraged him. When I think about you, friends, I know so many of you, when I think about you, I think about the kindness that you've shown me. I'm so grateful to be in your life, even if it's just online. Some of you came to our conference. If you came to our conference, 2 weeks ago now, type conference in the chat. You came and hung out with us in Charlotte. What a blessing. What a blessing to be with you. One of my favorite Bible verses says, do not forsake the fellowship of believers. This idea of like getting together is so important. That's why we believe in community so much. And so many of you, when I saw you in person, you're so kind, right? You want to take a picture with me or tell me about your writing. And it's just like, when I think about you, there's such kindness. And I think the world needs more kindness. Do you agree? Type agree if you agree. I think that social media needs more kindness in the feed, right? It's really easy to be outraged. Outrage is easy. Kindness is hard. Outrage is easy. Kindness is hard. Write that down. That's worth writing down. Outrage is really easy. It's really easy to talk about things that make us mad. But what about the kindness? There's so much kindness around us, and kindness needs to be celebrated. And so when I think about you, I think about kindness. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to write a kindness story together. Yeah, outrage is easy. Kindness is hard. Yeah. Ooh, a little bit of French in the chat there. I like it, Kirsten. Je joie d'accord. One accord. Is that what that means? Okay. So kindness. Someone has been kind to you. Someone has been kind to you in your life, probably hundreds of times, but at least a couple times. Someone has been kind to you. Today, we're going to tell her story. We're not going to tell your story. Your story can feel really scary. We're going to tell her story because her story impacts your story and your story impacts your reader's story. So if we tell somebody else's story, that will help us get started. And I just want to help you get started today. So, kindness. I want you to think about a time where you were going through it. You were going through some suffering. Remember, we rejoice in suffering. So I want you to start with some suffering. What was some suffering that you faced? I'll give you a couple examples. You felt alone. Where was the time in your life where you felt alone? You can type in the chat, okay? We're gonna be real interactive today. Where's the time in your life where you felt discouraged? Where was the time in your life where you felt misunderstood? Misunderstood. Those are a couple options there, right? I felt alone. I felt misunderstood. Maybe I felt a little hopeless. Maybe frustrated. I felt I was so frustrated. You with me? Yeah. We're going deep. I'm not even going to share slides today because I just want to have a conversation with you. I hope that's okay. I just want to have a conversation with you. And I'm trying to do a little bit of extraction. I'm trying to pull out of you somewhere in your heart and somewhere in your mind. There's a story. There's a story of kindness. There is. I believe it. Even if you've been through a lot, there's a story of kindness. Okay, so go back to a time where you felt alone, abandoned, lost, stuck, overwhelmed, frustrated. Do you got something? Type got it if you have one in the chat. Just type got it. I got it. I got it. Yeah, I got one. Got one. You probably have like 5, right? Okay. I got one. So the story starts with suffering. There's 4 parts. The story starts with suffering. The suffering is what builds the connection. Suffering is what builds the connection. Suffering is actually how we write with vulnerability. We write with vulnerability because social media can feel shiny and happy and it's everybody's highlight reel, right? Nobody really wants a highlight reel. Oh, the kids are beautiful and the wedding was perfect and everything's great, date night. Like, oh, but like that, sometimes it feels really fake. The social media sometimes feel fake. So if you lean into the suffering, it's real. It's real. Yeah. Okay. So we start with the suffering. So you think about a time in your life where you had a challenge, that you had a trial. And if you know what, I would really love just where was it? Type where was it? Like, where was it? A classroom? Was it a new city? Was it a church? Like, just type the location where this happened, where you felt that way. Yeah. And you don't have to give all the details away right now. We're going to get there. But just set the scene a little bit. Where was this? Okay. Yeah. Old job to new job. Yeah. What if it's ongoing? Okay. Well, we're going to get there. Home, hospital waiting room. Yeah. At home and at church, a new city, in my home, hotel room in college. Okay. Great. Not great, but like great that you have something. Okay. Great. Okay. Now, somewhere in that situation, there was a person. There's a person that was kind. There's a person that was kind. You might have to dig a little deeper, but I want you to name that person. And if you don't want to say their name, just say like their role, like a friend or a brother or something. Okay. But there was a person in that situation that did something that they didn't need to do, but they did it anyway. And as a result, we're going to get there. But things changed. Your suffering changed because of somebody else's endurance. Actually, it's out of somebody else's hope, which comes from their character, which comes from their endurance, which comes from their suffering, right? But someone else, a character, see where we're going? A character connected with you through kindness in that situation. I gotta check your chat here. Yeah, a friend, 2 friends, mother-in-law. I love it. You said Holly, like a real person. Judy, brother-in-law. Yeah, roommate in a rehabilitation facility. Amazing. Oh my goodness. A pastor, Jerry. Thank you. Alec and Alice. Yeah, name the person. Name the person. I love it. The first one that came to mind for me was I remember when we moved. I grew up in New Jersey. My dad was a seminary student, and then he worked on his doctoral degree to become a Bible college professor. My dad was a Bible college professor. And so we lived in Pennsylvania, New Jersey growing up because he was going to master's and then his doctoral program. And I was at a public school in New Jersey. And then my dad got his like big teaching job at a Bible college in Canada. So we were moving from New Jersey to Manitoba, Canada, going into 5th grade. And I didn't know anything. I didn't know about ice hockey or, I mean, barely seen snow. Like there's so many things that were new. And so for me, like the suffering was like, I'm leaving my friends and going to a new place. And I remember we got a care package from the Whiteways, which was like a family's name. We worked at the school and they had 3 boys and they sent gifts to my sister and I while we were still in New Jersey to get us excited to move to Canada. And the kindness of that care package still chokes me up to this day. Still to this day. And I was in 4th grade. So the kindness of the Whiteways, while I was facing the suffering of moving and feeling like I don't know anybody, that was a kindness. And so that's what I would write my story about. Okay? Do you have your story? Type, I have my story. I have my story. Yeah, if you have your story. Amazing. 80 of you with me right now. How cool is that? So cool. Yeah, I have my story. Okay. So the suffering is what you were going through. Then you were met with kindness. Somebody came alongside you. Maybe it was a gift. I love the love languages. I don't know if you're a love language person, but maybe it was an act of service. Maybe it was a what's verbal affirmation. So it was kind words. Maybe it was a gift. Like mine was a gift story, which is very interesting. Maybe it was quality time. Maybe it was physical touch. Somebody gave you a hug where you really needed it. So that's the story of kindness. Do you get it? So suffering leads to endurance. The endurance is what happened as a result of the kindness. So as that person was kind to you, what changed in your life? That's my next question to you. So what changed? What changed in your life? What changed in your life? Type it in the chat. What changed in your life? What changed in your life? You know, it's funny, if I think about it, I think the fact that the Whiteways welcomed me, even though they didn't know me at all, it actually helped me welcome other people in the future. Like I wonder the ripple effect. Wow. The ripple effect of their kindness when I was in 4th grade and how it's impacted me to this day. I mean, literally, when somebody signs up for Hope Books, we send them a package. You know, when you join one of our communities, like we send you stuff. Maybe sometimes it's an email, sometimes it's a t-shirt, but like the idea of like being welcomed, I wonder if some of my character of being somebody who welcomes relates all the way back to the suffering in 4th grade. Do you get it? How cool is that? How cool is that, right? Okay, so we had the suffering. Then the kindness that was shown to us led to the endurance. The endurance is really the steps. The steps of what did you do? What did you do as a result? What did you do as a result of that person's kindness? What did they do and how did it impact you? That's your story. That's your story. What did they do and how did it impact you? You know what that led to? Step number 3, type it in the chat if you know, is one word, right? Suffering leads to endurance. Endurance leads to, what is it? Come on, I thought you're all with me. Character. The character that you are now, the person you are now, is a result of the endurance that you lived, which came from the suffering that you endured. Do you get it? That's number 3, the character. When somebody sees you and they go, oh, you know what? You're so hospitable. I love how you have the teenage kids over and you're like the fun house to come to. Or I love how you just pray for people. I've always loved that about you. Or you're a thank you note person. You write thank you notes, or you give really good gifts, or maybe you make something really special. That's from your character. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Out of your character, ready? Number 4, produces what? What does it produce? You know this, hope. That's why we call our company Hope. Hope Books, Hope Writers. I actually just got a new license plate and it says Hope on it. How cool is that? Oh, it's so fun. I just posted my if you don't follow me on Instagram, go follow me on Instagram and you can see it. And it's so fun. Every time I'm like, oh my goodness, there it is. Hope. Like I have to live hope. Jesus is the living hope. I want to live out the hope of Christ in me. Right? It's so easy to be outraged online. But what if instead I opened my hand instead of clenching my fist and I shared the reason for the hope that I have? What if I shared the story of kindness that the Whiteways showed to me when I was in 4th grade? Wouldn't that be so cool? Think about the impact of that. Do you guys see it? What if you were to write this story? What if you actually wrote the story that we're talking about right now? Like not just for fun, but for real, for real. For real, for real. Type real, real in the chat. Like real, real. Like you actually wrote it. Real, real. Yeah. You actually wrote it. You actually wrote it and you published it. And then you gave them a copy of your words. Wouldn't that be so amazing? I want to do this now. That'd be so cool. Can you imagine? Can you imagine writing your story? You talk about the suffering that you went through. You talk about the kindness that someone showed you and how the kindness led to your endurance, how you grew your character as a result of their kindness. And as you grew your character, you shared your hope. And here's the whole thing. I love this. In God's economy and his kingdom, it's a cycle, it's a circle. And your hope does not disappoint because it connects with somebody who's in the suffering right now. And so there's actually two readers. There's the reader. There's the person that showed you the kindness, which I think this would be so cool. But there's also somebody that's in the suffering right now. If I were to write my story of how I felt alone and moving, but the kindness of this family who sent me a care package impacted my life in such a way that I send care packages for a living now. How cool is that? It created this character of a guy who wants to welcome people into community because of the hope that I have that encourage other people who feel alone. That's so cool. Now, what if you were to actually write it, not just write it, but write it, to edit it, to publish it in a book? In a book. Type a book in the chat. A book. Wouldn't that be so cool? That'd be so cool. Yeah. Hope does not disappoint. A book. Okay. That'd be so cool. Just think about all the stories of kindness that could be shared. How your story of kindness, if you were to write it, would help someone else live their story. Now, do you see how this framework actually gives you some courage to be vulnerable? Just say, I see it if you see it. This framework of first I write about the suffering. You tell the story about how it was really hard. It was really hard to find out that we were moving to Canada. When I found out we were moving to Canada, I wanted to run away. That's a great first line, right? When I found out we were moving to Canada, I wanted to run away. You start with the suffering, but then you tell the story of kindness, which led to the endurance, which produced the character, which led to your hope. Yeah. You see it? I see it. Oh, I got a lot of people that said, I see it. Yeah. Okay. What did Ari say? I feel a little sad. I can identify the suffering and endurance in the character, but I'm having a hard time finding the kindness. Okay. We'll tell a different story. Yeah. Sometimes you got to try it a different, knock on another door. I'm sure there's somewhere in your life that somebody's been kind to you. I think the way to find out where the hope is start with the suffering, because we all have highs and lows in life, right? We have highs and lows. And if you look at, these are a couple of lows in my life. Where did I feel stuck? Where did I feel discouraged? Where did I feel lonely? You can go, you know what? I'm not there anymore. But if you're still in the pain, don't write about that yet. Right? I would say heal before you reveal. If you're still in the pain of a current situation, you still have to live that. I mean, you're living that. Don't write about that yet. Write about the thing that happened 3 years ago. Or for me, oh my goodness, how long ago is that? 37 years ago. Whoa. Get it? Okay. Man, I just imagine if 10 of you, type 10 in the chat. If 10 of you, type the number 10 in the chat. Because there's so many people in here. How many people are there? 78 people. Okay. What if 10 of you took the next step? What if 10 of you took the next step and you actually wrote your kindness story? It's not your memoir. It's not your autobiography. It's not a big book. It's just a chapter, right? What if 10 of you, because we only have 10 spaces, what if 10 of you wrote your kindness story and we put it all together in a book about kindness? How would that feel? Type in the chat. What would that be like? What would that be like for your story of kindness to be in a published book? I actually have one to show you. Here it is. Okay. Okay. Would that be so cool? There we go. Super cool. Okay. Coralie says super cool. Okay. So this is an example. We call this a collaboration. And a collaboration is where you have 10 different authors who have all written a chapter. Type a chapter in the chat. A chapter. Okay. 10 different authors all write a chapter. Now, what if you were to write your story of kindness as a chapter in a book that we are officially announcing right now? Right now. You ready? Right now. Brand new. We're doing a book we're doing a series on the fruits of the Spirit. And the book that I want to share with you today is about kindness. So what if you took that story that I just walked you through the process? How do you write with vulnerability? You talk about the suffering. And how do you do it so you're not embarrassed? You write somebody else's story about how somebody else was kind to you. And why do you do it? Because you're encouraging them and you're encouraging your reader. How cool is that, right? Everybody wins. Win, win, win. So if 10 of you were to say yes to actually taking the next step, not just for funsies, but like for real, okay? 10 of you were to go ahead and say, I want to be in that book. If you want to be in that book, say, I want to be in that book. Type it in the chat. I want to be in that book, because we only have 10 spots. Amazon only allows you to have 10 authors, okay? I want to be in that book. I want to be in that book. Type it if you want to be in that book. So 10 of you, write a chapter, which is your story of kindness. Now, Brian, I got a different story of kindness. Oh, it's okay. You can write the other story. I just gave you an example. Okay. I've got a couple of people. Come on. If you want to be in that book, say, I want to be in that book. I want to be in that book. So we all work together. My company, our company, Hope Books, we take care of the editing, the formatting, the layout, the printing, the shipping, the distribution. We do all the publisher stuff. You do the author stuff. You write your story. You write your story of kindness. What would happen? We would put something together that's pretty cool, right? A book about kindness, a book that can help other people. But here's the thing. It's never about me. It's about she, right? It's about her. Imagine writing that story. Actually, I literally think about Lorraine Whiteway, the mom of this family. And they're still friends with my parents. What if I were to write my story in a chapter about kindness and how the Whiteways welcomed us to Canada, welcomed us to our little town called Kleefeld in Manitoba, Canada. And what if I put my story in this kindness book and I gave her a copy for Christmas? Like, wouldn't that be so amazing? What if you honored, we don't use that word a lot, do we? What if you honored the person that showed kindness to you in your life? Wouldn't that be worth it? Type worth it if that'd be worth it. Wouldn't it be worth it? I just think about how cool that would be. How cool that would be to be able to hand her a copy and say, thank you. You know what? You guys put together this little care package and you don't even really know like the impact, but like it actually changed my life. When I think about you, like the Apostle Paul, when I think about you, I just rejoice. I rejoice because of the kindness that you showed me. That's what this book is about. Okay, so how do you write with vulnerability? You don't write about yourself. You write about the suffering that you went through, and you write about the kindness that somebody else showed you. And that post is the kind of post that you hope goes viral because you want other people to read it because it's not about you anyway, right? Now, if you really want to take the next step, you don't just put it on Facebook, you put it in a book. You put it in a book, not a Facebook. Okay, that's pretty good. You put it in a real book, a printed book, because that printed book has a life longer than yours. I just started updating my shelves here, and one of the books I have here is one of my favorite books of all time called How to Win Friends and Influence People. And this version of this book, I love it. Okay, this version of this book was published in 1936. 1936. That is 90 years ago. 90. Type 90 in the chat if you're with me. 90 years ago. 90 years ago. 90. Your story of kindness in the kindness book will be around 90 years from now. 90 years when you're not here, because I'm not going to be here in 90 years. So what if you were to write your story of kindness, put it in the kindness book, and your story lives on? I think that's just so cool. Okay. There's two more things I want to share with you. Number one, we can help you. We'll edit your story. We'll format it. We'll print it. It'll be beautiful. Okay. In a collaboration book. Number two, we have a party. Type party in the chat. We can throw a party. So we have a brand new headquarters. I don't know if you can see, this is one of the spaces, one of the rooms here, but we have a brand new headquarters and we have a party. We're having a kindness party. We're going to invite all 10 authors who have written the chapter in the kindness book here to Charlotte, North Carolina, and we're going to have a party. We're going to train you on your next step. We're going to interview you for a podcast, and we're gonna have a big launch party. We'll take you out to dinner. You can bring your spouse or bring your friend with you. We're gonna have a big party. So number one, we'll do all the editing and the printing and everything. Number two, we're gonna have a party. It's gonna be so much fun. But then number three, and this is my favorite part, community. Type community in the chat. Community. Community. You're not alone, because not only are you writing your story, but you have 9 other people, 10 of you connecting, building relationships, real friends, like real life writing friends. And I know some of you are tired of writing alone. You're tired of writing alone. You need real life writing friends. And that's really what I want to do. I like my kind of secret sauce is I like connecting. I love connecting. I love to connect some of you. And so there's people right now live with me that are feeling like I'm the only person I know that writes. What if that's not true anymore? What if you had 9 other friends who all wrote their story of kindness and you got to meet each other? We have a Zoom call, we have a little Facebook group, we'll have dinner together, we'll have a party. By the time you do all those things, you're gonna feel connected. And I'm all about connecting, helping you connect to other writing friends. So doesn't that sound cool? Let me know in the chat. Is that something that you want? Is that something that you want? Do you want to be part of this? Would you like to be part of this? It's a fun little project. It only takes about 3 hours to write the chapter. So it's like you can fit it in your life, especially if you're busy. You got a lot on your plate. You can do this. Yeah, let me know. Like, what would it be like? Are you excited about it? I think it's so cool. It's so cool. So we call that a collaboration. Yeah. Yeah, so fun. Yeah. Now, some of you have done a collab before, which is really awesome. Some of you have done this before. And if you've been a collab author, type collab in the chat. You've done a collaboration with us. It's a collab in the chat. So we are just open up this new book called Kindness. And the reason I wanted to teach you about vulnerability is because I want you to see that your vulnerability is a kindness to your reader. I love the word intimacy. When you have a level of intimacy with your reader, when your reader feels like she gets to know you, into me see, right? See into me, look into my life. Look, I don't have it all together. I've gone through some suffering, but through the suffering produced endurance. And that endurance led to character, and that character produced hope. And when you share your story vulnerably, and we can start with the story of kindness, okay? Just a story of kindness, it can encourage other people. And I really believe this, that the world needs your hope-filled words more now than ever before. Your words of hope can make a difference in somebody else's life. So let me ask you a question. And then I think I'm going to have Carly pop on here, which is really fun. We haven't done that before, but we want to do that. So Carly, get ready. Just give me like 2 or 3 more minutes. Okay. I want to speak specifically to you. If you have never published your words in a book, if that's you, I want you to type a 0 in the chat. I have never published my words in a book. Type a 0 in the chat. I've never published my words in a book before. Type a 0 in the chat. That's specifically everybody who's never published their words in a book. I want you to type a 0 in the chat. My mission is to help you go from 0 to 1. That's my mission. I want you to not go to the grave with your song still in your heart. I want you to leave behind, like Carnegie and like so many other people. I want you to write your story, because when you write and publish your story, you do it more. Now listen, if you have done more than one book with us, with Hope Books, type me in the chat. You've done maybe a collection and a collaboration. You've done a collection and a full book. If you've done more than one with us, type me in the chat. I know there's a few of you on here. Yeah, I love it. Okay, who do we got here? Yeah, so Jerry's done a couple with us. Linda's done a couple with us. I love it. Yeah, Pat did a year of hope with us. Amazing. Yeah. Okay. So that's what I want to invite you to today. We'll take care of all the editing and the publishing. So you'll get author copies of the Kindness book. You get unlimited discounted copies. You can buy them at a discount and have them available for sale. You can give them to friends and family. We'll have a party at our headquarters together. But more than that, it's community. You build relationships with the other writers. And so what's your next step? Okay. Your next step is, oh yeah, I'm here to answer your questions. Let me just share my screen and I'll show you where to go. And then I'm going to bring Carly on to help me answer questions. Okay. So, yeah, here you go here. The website is hopebooks.com/collab, hopebooks.com/collab. And the book that we just started, oh no, there's only 7 spots left. Oh, I thought there were 10. Okay. Well, Carly will be here in a second to help me answer questions. Okay. There's only 7 spots left. Sorry, y'all. There's only 7 spots left. It's the kindness book. Here you go. So here's what you do. You go to hopebooks.com/collab. Here's the page. And basically all you're doing is writing a chapter. You write a chapter, 9 other authors write a chapter, and together we do a book with you. So you go down here, you can see all the information, 10 authors, 1 theme. It lets you explore publishing. You get to collaborate with other authors and you become a published author. So if this is interesting to you, you click on apply here. Okay, apply here. And then it'll load up the application. So you fill in the application right here. Okay, right there. You fill that all in. And then what will happen is our team will look at it and say, you know what, this is perfect fit for our kindness book, or here's a book that might be a better fit. We're not here to reject you, but we are here to help guide you. We charge $25 for the application fee so that, we know you're serious. And then you'll have a conversation with Carly and then she'll help you make that decision. What's the right next step for you? We can walk through the different payment options, that sort of thing. Okay. So if you have a question, feel free to drop your question in the chat. But we would love to be your publisher, and we would love you to be part of this kindness book. Okay, Carly, you ready? Ready if you're ready. I'm going to bring up Carly here to help me answer some questions. I haven't seen, oh, she's ready. Okay, great. Now let me figure out how to do this here. Y'all, this is the first time we've ever done this, so you get something special today. I want to welcome the amazing, okay, promote to panelist, Carly. Okay, we are here to answer your questions about how it works, about your story. Awesome. Okay, you should be here in a second. How cool is this? Okay, let's go. Hey.
Hi, everyone. Oh, excuse me. Hi, everyone. So glad you're here.
Awesome. Everybody say hi, Carly in the chat. Hi, Carly. Okay. Very cool. I love it. Carly, this is our first time having you on too, which is like really fun.
Yes.
So I know, listen, some of you, if you have never been on a training with me, type first time in the chat. First time. If you've never been on a training with me before, type first time in the chat. And if you've done like at least one of these before, what should they type? I don't know. Say, been here. Okay, a bunch of first timers. This is so fun. So this is like the first time you're hearing about the idea of a collaboration book. Carly, what else did you want to share that I maybe missed or could have been clearer on?
Yeah. So, as Brian said, there's 10 spots in the book, but some people have already signed up, so there's 7 spots remaining. He mentioned going in and submitting your application. So as you do those, I will filter through those and contact you and invite you to be a part of the collaboration. So, and as we do that, it is a first come, first serve. So definitely, if you're interested, get your application in, or let me know what questions you have, and I'll contact you directly to make sure that all of your questions are answered.
That's so fun. What we do at Hope Books, which is really different than other publishers. Most publishers look for famous. Okay, type famous in the chat, y'all. Most publishers look for famous. So they're looking for authors who have a really big Instagram following. They're looking for authors who are on a national speaking tour. They look for authors who have a big podcast. They're looking for famous. And what those publishers do is they pay for everything because they know that that famous person is going to sell a lot of books. And the way they make their money, the way they pay their team is because of all the book royalties, okay? Our company does something a little different. We focus on faithful over famous. Type that in the chat if you're with me. Faithful over famous. That's our focus. We are all about, faithful over famous. I love it. Faithful over famous. We're all about helping a first-time author with no followers or just a couple hundred people, maybe just some friends and family. We're about helping you take the first step. So we love working with you if you're brand new. We love working with you if you're brand new. And it's like a training program. So we charge a tuition, right? A tuition. It's kind of like going to school. So what if you could join this program? You get training on how to write your chapter. We throw a big party. We have a lot of fun. You pay a tuition. But the best part is instead of just getting like a diploma at the end, you have a published book at the end, a book that can sell and sell and sell. You get royalties from the book, which is really cool. So that's what we do a little differently. Faithful over famous. That's what we're focused on. I love it. Okay, Carly, what's their next step if they're interested in writing their kindness story in the kindness collaboration book?
Yeah, so your next step, if you want to go to the website that Brian shared, and he can put that in the chat again in case you missed it. Um, Click on apply, submit your chapter idea, and I will go through those. And if it's a good fit, I will contact you directly. I'll give you a call. I'll leave a voicemail if you're unavailable. I'll send you a text. I'll do whatever to get in contact with you and let you know that we would love to have you be a part of this. And then if you're not quite ready to just apply yet, let me know and we can jump on a phone call and I'll get all of your questions answered. It looks like Kirsten has a question. Brian, if you want to touch on it, she asked, how can we engage other people in the story to ensure that they're okay with being a part of the published work?
I love that. That's such a good question. So there's a couple ways to approach it, and we cover this in the training as well. So once you join the kindness book, you get access to our community, right? So you would have coaching calls with the authors, and we help guide you through the process of writing your story. But generally, when you're writing about somebody else, number one, I love the word honor. Type the word honor in the chat if you're with me. People love to be honored. It's not a word we use a lot. And so when you honor somebody, they feel honored. And is there a way to tell a story of kindness in a way that honors people? Of course there is. So you can tell somebody's story. You can tell a story that happened to you. And if you're honoring them, it's okay to use their name because you're saying something really nice about them. Where it gets a little thorny is when there's something hard that happened or negative that happened. When that happens, which we all have those hard stories too, I would anonymize, and I won't ask you to spell that because that's a complicated word, but anonymize. So you could say like a teacher, but not say the name of the teacher, or a family member, but not say the name of the family member. I would not put the name of somebody who something negative happened or they did something. I would just completely avoid naming them. So that's number one, is anonymize. And then number two, you could even blend. Type blend if you're with me. I know how to spell that one. Blend. You could blend two stories together. So for example, if you had, two different people that were kind to you, you could write the heart of the story, which is true, but the details of the story are blended. And my reference for this would be like a movie based on a true story. Is it a true story? Well, yeah, it's based on a true story. So the feeling is true, but maybe some of the details are changed to kind of keep it a little bit more anonymous. And it just doesn't lose the power. And it kind of protects you a little bit, especially if it's a hard story. So if you're telling a story about kindness, well, usually somebody wasn't kind to you. So you might not use their name, maybe change their name or blend a couple of stories together. And that can really be a way to move forward. Great. Other questions, y'all? Ask your question below. Here's your next step. We only have, I was going to say 10 spots. We only have 7 spots left in the kindness book. So my goal and Carly's goal is for today. We would love you to sign up today. We'll give you all the details in terms of all the next steps, but we would love this book to be filled up with 10 authors who have a story of kindness to share. So I wanted to come on here, share how to write with vulnerability, give you a real example of write your story of kindness. Your next step is to write that story. So you have 2 options right now. Okay. Option number 1 is do it by yourself. Option number 1 is go write that story, post it on Facebook. Go do that. Like go write your story. Option number 2 is do it with support. And so that support is applying to work with us in the kindness book. And again, the website is hopebooks.com/collab. I put it in the chat there. So click there, apply. Carly will read the applications, reach out to you. Hey, congratulations. I'd love you to be in the book, have a conversation with you, and then take the next step from there. So who else has questions? When does it have to be done? We got a couple months, right? I mean, it's not tomorrow. Like it's coming up. You're going to look up the date. She's
Yes,
detailed. I
so
like
the
it.
kindness collaboration, we will do a onboarding call for you to get all your information, everything you need on March 2nd.
Mhm.
And then the day of that celebration party where we're going to do a podcast recording with you, we're going to do a workshop, we're going to have a photographer come and do headshots of each author. We'll go to dinner and we do a live stream interview with you. That day is set for June 15th. And I would actually love to hear there's a lot of people on here that have come to a launch party with us. So
Mhm.
share with us what's been your favorite part? What was your favorite part of your collaboration or the launch party? I would love
Mm.
to hear that.
So fun. And y'all, you've not been to our new space yet, which is so exciting. So we're actually our painters here right now. So the launch party will be at our brand new headquarters, which is so fun. So you and your spouse, your friend, you can come by yourself if you want, but a lot of people will bring their spouse or their friend. So it's about 20 people total. So it's our 10 authors, some of our team members, and we're going to hang out for a day and do some training and have a big party to celebrate the launch of Your Kindness book. So yeah, like Carly said, it'll officially start in March. But with these books fill up really fast. Our last one, our patience books, like literally filled up in 24 hours. So if you're here right now, this is a really good chance to apply. And if it's not a fit for the kindness book, we do have some other options coming up. Like we've got My Hope Story Volume 3 coming up, and we've got some other ones as well. So it doesn't hurt to apply. This really is your decision point. You can kind of keep Googling forever, or you can actually take a step. 25 bucks, right? That's all it is. 25 bucks for the application fee. Apply, and then we'll take the next step with you. Yeah. Who else has questions? Oh, I love a lot of launch party stuff. You wanna read over theirs there, Carly?
Yeah. Pat, you said it's so fun. What was your comment? What was your favorite part of the collaboration? Or the launch party? What was your favorite part of the launch party?
So funny.
Um, how long do you have to write? You have from like if you signed up today, you have about 2 months actually, which is, Brian said it only takes a couple of hours to
It's
write a
true.
chapter.
Yeah.
But you have about 2 months and then it'll go through editing and we'll give you some feedback. Um, and the word count, it's a chapter. So we consider a chapter to be anywhere between 2,000 to 5,000 words. Um,
And we'll help you with that too. There's a bunch of ways to write your chapter. I love that y'all getting in the tactical questions. What I've discovered is that people decide based on a feeling, and then they support that feeling based on the details. And so I guess the question I have for you is this something that you're excited about? Type excited if you're excited about it. Like if is this something that if you can work out the details, right? Let's assume you work out the details that you're like, this sounds good. Actually, you know what? I just want you to type yes in the chat. If you're like, yes, this is something that I would love to do. Yes, I got to work out the details. Yeah, type yes in the chat if you're like, this would be so fun. I would love to do this. What I've discovered is the best thing I can do is just invite you. I would love you to be part of this, but you have to also meet us halfway and take that step. I got a couple yes in the chat. If you're like, yes, I want to do this, your next step, right? First, I'll just type yes in the chat so we know who's interested. But your next step would be to apply, and the link is right there in the chat. So click on that link, fill in the application. Carly will review it in a day or two, like pretty soon, and then reach
I'll
reach
start
out to
reviewing
you
them today.
today. Come on, what better time than today? Amazing. What if you went to bed tonight? I love doing this. What if you went to bed tonight, rested your head on the pillow, and you said, I signed up to write a chapter in a book? Wouldn't that be so cool? I just think that's so much fun to say, you know what? I've been dreaming about writing a book. Yeah, actually, I didn't ask this question. I meant to. Specifically for those of you who have wanted to write but haven't yet, haven't been a published book, the question I have for you is how long have you been dreaming about being a published author? Let me know in the chat. How long have you been dreaming about being a published author? Yeah, let me know. I mean, it's been a couple months, it's been a year, it's been like 5 years, 10 years. Like how long have you dreamed? How long have you dreamed about being a published author? I love this question so much because I think like, how long has this dream been something that you've been thinking about? Let me see. I don't see. Okay, there you go. Melinda, thank you. Sorry, I just give you all a minute. Yeah. Melinda says over 30 years. Kirsten says, dreaming of putting my story of kindness leading to character and hope for 4 decades. 40 years. 40 years. Okay, so what do you have to lose? $25, right? Fill in the application. Carly will walk you through the math. We've got payment plans. We have tuition options. What's our payment plans? What? 4 payments of $297?
That's right.
Yeah. So 4 payments of $297. So basically, what is that like $10 a day for 4 months? It's basically like $10 a day, and now you're a published author. I mean, it's pretty reasonable. It's definitely something that we've seen hundreds of authors that have gone through a collaboration process always say it's worth it. It's 100% worth it because we train you on exactly what you need to do in terms of getting your story written and publishing that book. What other questions do y'all have? Yeah, this is great. Awesome. Thank y'all. Yeah. Okay, great. Well, here we go. Okay. Your next step is to click this button right here. Y'all give a little shout out for Carly for being here. Thank you, Carly. I appreciate it. This is fun. This is the first time she's hopped on, which is great. Carly, thank you. You help answer some questions. Your next step is to go to hopebooks.com/collab. Click on the button to apply. We would love to review your applications. We'd love to help you share your story. And kind of final closing is I want you to know that your story matters, that you have a story that's worth sharing. We would love to publish it. I think something about publishing your story makes it real, but you do need to write it, because if you don't write it, people can't read it. If you don't publish it, people can't read it. We would love to partner with you to help you write your story, edit, publish your story so that other people can be encouraged. And that's really how to lead with vulnerability, is by putting them first, thinking about the suffering they're going through right now. And if you were to write your kindness story, it can help encourage other people. And that's what we're all about here at Hope Books. So Carly, thanks so much for being here. Y'all, your next step is to click on the link, hopebooks.com/collab. And we would love to work with you. Any final thoughts, Carly?
Oh, it looks like Shantae said, what if I would like to write on another topic? That's excellent. We always have a topic available that kind of fits an array of stories. So definitely let's chat. I'll reach out to you and we will let's talk about your story and we'll find a great place for you.
I like it. Kirsten was asking, can you remind me if there's any online component of the kindness or other books? I mean, we have a Zoom call so you get to meet the other authors. We have a collaboration course that Liz taught, so you can go through that. That's online. We have a Facebook group so you can meet the other authors. But most of the power and the fun of the collaboration book really is, getting together in person. Most of our authors, I think it's like 8 or 9 out of 10, will be able to make it and come to the party, which is really fun. Yeah, they're in hardcover, paperback, and ebook. Yeah. How do you set up a call? Okay, Carly put the link there in the chat. Carly, you mind putting that one more time there? Yeah, you can book a call or take the next step. Is it all in print? Yeah, we print it. So hardcover, softcover, and ebook as well. Yeah, awesome. Y'all, thank you so much for being here. We would love to help you write and publish your story, and we're so grateful for you. We hope you have an awesome week. Take the next step. This is up to you. Now the next step. We did the best that we could to share the invitation with you, but your next step is to take action. So go share your story of kindness. We would love to publish that story in a book, and we hope you have an amazing day. Keep writing. We'll see you next time.